You guys ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Here we go. Peace.
Secret House.
L Spade, bring us in.
Hey, Secret House Against the World, Tokyo-based music review channel where we look at underground hip-hop and underrepresented hip-hop artists because that's what these guys like to do. I am the guy on the left, DJ L Spade. In the middle, as always, Mega Robinson, not Robinson Mega. You call
No, it
him
is
that?
Robinson Mega.
Oh,
It's
well, it's
Robinson
Robinson
Mega.
Mega, not Mega Robinson. You call him that, it's an issue. And then we got Jet Black, who is
Sure.
Real name only. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, actually, I stopped saying our names and thing. I just put them at the bottom, and I felt like that was working pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good look.
But still, people don't know our
I
names.
miss
and shit.
doing my little bit though, where I'd be like, "Oh, yo, it's your boy Michael Stipe Miocic," and
Yeah.
all that shit. That was
Yeah.
that was a good time.
Throwback.
No, you could do that. I don't mind it. There's time for it. People enjoy the content.
The
I believe.
King Lana Del racist.
Yeah. So, hell yeah, man. Welcome back. Today we're reviewing. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Is it as easy as it looks?
no, it's not. It's Connor Musarra, but I think I got that wrong.
Okay.
But
Horny singles in your area. All right. Yeah, man. 24 minutes, 12 songs. He is a rapper cat from, I believe, Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio.
He's from Cleveland. Bone Thugs. Bone Thugs. I hit up my homie Polly Rhyme to see if he knew this cat because Polly's a representative from Cleveland. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man. But he didn't know him, and I didn't know anything about this guy either. I still don't know much about him outside of this album.
See, that's interesting.
But yeah.
I'm glad you guys actually reviewed this album. I was trying to push you guys to listen to this album last year, if you recall. So thank you guys for coming back to it. And this guy has really made a following on Instagram a lot. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He plays like drums, guitar, keyboards. He makes his own beats. And he's the type of guy on Instagram who will go in there and how they will play one part and show everything. That's kind of how he got his following. And he's also kind of a comedy rapper, but he dropped bars, in my opinion. So thank you guys for actually listening to this, because I was like
Well, that was
thoroughly tingly inside when y'all was like, yeah, let's do Connor. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was initially your misgivings about it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is like a white boy comedy rapper. Like,
Well,
but he's not.
I have like a thing against comedy rap, right?
Sure.
Especially when it comes from somebody that's not black, because a lot of times I feel like we see it comes in and they emulate a style that, especially like this convergence culture, pop rap aesthetic, boom bap drums, almost trappy, but their following tends to be a little bit more toxic. It's like why a lot of white people like the indie rap scene. It's like it's like what they like black art, but they need it to be smarter. They like black art, but it's not thoughtful enough. And so their critiques is always like, well, Sage Francis raps too, but he raps about like things that I care about, or Aesop Rock even. And I have like a spider sense tingling when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And even this album, when I first saw it, I just saw the cover.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, yuck. I was like, I don't even know if I ever want to get into this. And I listened to it, and I see the talents there. I'm surprised to hear that he's a multi-instrumentalist, because the beats are quite contemporary and straightforward.
See, I disagree with you on that, man. I feel like the beats, there are a lot of genius in here. You get a lot of guitar chord progressions that you generally don't hear. A lot of live drums, which he's actually playing, which is great. I think the beats that he made here were just miraculous.
I'm also
and
with Spade on this
remarkable.
one, actually. Yeah, I think some of the chord progressions and stuff on there are really, really dope. I get the impression that he's someone who like sat down at a piano and actually composed these beats, other than the sort of more traditional beat making sampling method.
Well, to be clear, like I just mean like the aesthetically, the direction of the song sound very contemporary, like your typical pop
especially
tracks, typical rap
album.
Tracks, and that's the thing that I was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, if he's a multi-instrumentalist, I can see, chord progressions. You can there are like chord progression buttons in your software and shit that teach that you can change and do, and it doesn't necessarily reflect any musicality in somebody's ability. These are produced. They're well produced. The tracks are rapped very well. He can rap. He does all of the things that you would need to do.
He checks the boxes.
He checks all of the boxes. I mean, we're going into the album right now, right? We're talking right about it, right? To be honest, for me, like I like There's 2 songs that I really like on this album. It's the joint with Z Loopers, and it's the last track,
Weird
Grimy.
Flex is so hard.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why you like those 2 specifically.
Well,
what could it be?
Well, I think on those tracks I do like the content that he's talking about on them. Some of the other tracks I just don't give a damn about.
You didn't like Heights? I felt Heights was a
Heights
deep
is okay.
look in
Yeah.
The
somebody's
production on
life.
that was cool. Like the beat was really nice on Heights.
This is more of just my kind of subjective like interest in the music
and what you like.
And what I actually like to listen to. None of this stuff is bad, and if I was DJing, I would definitely slam some of these tracks because people will like them, and this is better than a lot of the stuff that it sounds like to me. Like, it's good. His rapping is great. I just don't really care about some of the subject matter. Unimpressica,
Can I say this though?
Yeah.
Our XKN nephew is a national treasure to be held up between to everybody, because that song, the one song, that man got off, dude. Dude said some of the wildest stuff ever, and
He's
it just
amazing.
slaps. I'm like, yo.
Shout out to Daewon Song too, by the way.
Daewon Song.
Those old skate videos, Daewon versus Rodney Mullen. Great skate videos.
Hey, I'm not
he's a
skater.
dope skater. He is. I don't know if he still skates. I haven't skated in a long time either. But yeah, shout out to that. No, this is good rap music.
Rap-ish, right? Because some of the songs do come off sing-songy. When you jump into melatonin, it's like, all right, you kind of straddle the fence of not
making
being rap.
pop,
Kind of pop R&B.
But I feel like his pop sensibility works as well. I think he's got a good ear for pop. I think as far as like pop music goes, I mean, it's pretty basic, like, we fucking, it makes me go to sleep type thing. But at the same time, I think he does it with a certain degree of finesse and a certain degree of elegance that works really well for me. I think ultimately this is someone who I think listens to a lot of popular music as well as a lot of hip hop, and I think he approaches these things from the perspective of, trying to craft music. Like, it's crafted. It is, very kind of quite intricate in like his approach to how he creates these songs. And in that respect, it's kind of, I guess he's kind of an unassuming character because, it's got this ridiculous cover where he's like posted up on a couch and horny singles in your area, that kind of web ad thing. But there is a decent bit of musicianship here, and I think he's someone who, could probably make a lot of money ghostwriting for people at the top of the charts if he really wanted to.
A good thing about this man, and I'm glad you brought that up, because his workflow is impeccable. This album came out, if I'm not mistaken, in December, 2 weeks before his other album, The Third Time, came out. And not to mention, this year he's put out like 5 singles already. So he's the type of guy, and this is kind of what made him famous on Instagram. He'll do a song right off
in
the
one
rip.
stream, like right there.
And then make the song and put it out. So dude's workflow is amazing, and to be able to make decent quality songs in that amount of time, to me, is awesome. So I would love for the man to just sit down and work on something and put it in the kitchen for about 3 or 4 months, 6 months, and then put it out. That probably be the best album ever.
That's kind of what I've like. It's one of the reasons I don't really care for his music. Like, while it's meticulously crafted and he's super talented, a lot of this stuff just seems like simple throwaway tracks, like the same type of, like those cats that live loop a beat and then they have an ability to, like what's the Riblet guy?
Mark Rebby, yeah.
He's dope, but it's also just like, it seems a little bit like if he seems very smart and meticulous and talented, and I feel like if he just there's a step further that he could take that would cause me to enjoy it more, that I just don't care for here.
Did you just reverse him? Like, hey, you step your bars up, buddy. You almost there.
Well, like some of the tracks are really thoughtful. Like what he's talking about on, the things that I'm gonna like about it.
Communism don't work in theory. That's what
Joe Rogan
said.
Yeah, I like it. And then the track Grimy, he calls out neoliberalism. He points it out. I really like that and appreciate that approach. And there's an interesting aspect in praxis, right, for the situations that is like detornment.
Praxis?
Praxis.
You talking praxis?
I'm talking praxis.
Shout out to Arm & Hammer.
Like, there's this approach to detorment where you take something that is popular culture and you subvert it with leftist propaganda and change things. And I kind of feel like he's on the cusp of that. Like that song Grimy is like right there, like a track that pushes that. I really would appreciate it, and I really think that maybe let it cook a little longer. darker, like you said, and it'd be more appealing to me. A lot of this stuff is just like, okay, that's good, that's well crafted, whatever. Boom. But like I like Z Looper on this, RXK Nephew. Both of those guys are doing things that are radical musically compared to what this album is. This album is very conventional to me, while put together well is very conventional to me.
It is conventional.
However, it dives into some good topics on this. Like a lot of the topics are not cookie cutter. They're dealing with depression and uplifting the community, and also trying to be more than what you're put in the box. Like with height and fractions and burnout. It all deals with that, and for somebody to put out an album back to back and deal with these real issues, to me, it's commendable.
But then we get Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
But I never thought we'd have an album by like a guy who like obviously listens to Chapo. And for it to not be like complete cringe, like that kind of threw me. Like, he's got that kind of quote unquote dirtbag left thing going on. I fuck with him. I'm a fan of him, and it might sound like I'm being very critical of the album,
kind of,
but I definitely am. One of the things I feel like I'm not doing justice. I did write down some of the lyrics, but on my notes that are on the other recording device, I didn't transfer them over, so I don't have like specific lyrics to talk about like I wanted to. But man, he goes off, and like Grimy is one of the name another socialist MC besides like Billy Woods and these other cats who are very strange. Name anybody that's doing it. And it sure is fucking Killer Mike.
He's
what
a lot more straightforward with it.
He says proletariat. He says fucking fuck bootstraps.
Marx,
he says
fuck bootstraps.
He lays it out very simply and plain. And I fucking this is one of my favorite tracks that I've heard in a long time. Grimy is hard, and I would love to subvert people's expectations of what music is or what these topics are. Most people don't even know what a fucking neoliberal is. They think a neoliberal is like a social democrat, an AOC. They don't realize that every single president since fucking Carter, you know what I mean, has been neoliberal. And like, he's dope. I just wanted to push a little bit and go more like experimental.
Another 6 months in the oven type album.
Yeah, hit me. Especially if he's so capable of just like mass producing Instagram rap, TikTok rap albums. I always dislike that part of the culture where you got some guy on the pier who's really good at freestyling and the video goes viral and it's like everybody can fucking rap.
That's more of a critique of the time we live in, though, because that's not going anywhere. Now, in order to get on, you're going to have to use that medium and just keep on knocking out stuff in the streaming age.
I understand what he's doing and why he's doing it, but this is the material conditions of our time. I just like if you already making the Instagram shit, do that. Put an album together that's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, this is very close to shit that I don't care for at all.
Fair critique, and it's also off-putting when you got the title, and you're butt naked. I don't know if I would have chose that. It makes it easy to dismiss the album.
It's a very online type aesthetic.
Right.
And I do think ultimately, when you look at his subject matter and his politics and everything and the way he looks at it, it is of this kind of online era,
Convergence culture.
There's convergence culture, but, there's Chapo, there's Comtown kind of, it's like kind of gross, but it's funny, but it comes from this very, very like young leftist perspective. And to be honest, that shit's dope to me. I'm glad that we're now at the point in the culture where like, someone like Connor can actually step up and do that kind of stuff, and he can be saying, read a book in response to people talking about Joe Rogan, and that's dope to me. This is a low best album ever for me.
Hey, I'll take it. I thought you guys were gonna say album.
No, this is because even the
I'm actually right there. I think it's a solid 7. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's great.
The poppier elements that I think Canyon is a really good song, and that is pop. That is a pop track.
It is pop.
I like his use of the Canyon as the central conceit. The way that he crafts his hook, I think is memorable. I think the production is very good. I think this is a musician and someone who is not just riding on the coattails of like popular black culture or anything like that. I think he's genuinely pretty fucking dope.
He has to do a little bit more to convince me that he's not just this internet like a convergence culture person that's just making popular music.
That's fair.
Like, That's fair. There's a lot of cats who have interesting personalities that make music similar to these qualities and are making trap music that is not about trapping, and it's geared towards a certain audience that likes these things, and I usually don't like those audiences. I am happy that there is a guy who's vocal and left and really putting it down and putting it on wax, but he has to do a little bit more for me to really appreciate his art. I do think this album, in our 3-tier rating system, greatest album ever, album trash. I think this is the greatest album ever. I think I would give it a strong 7. I think he does everything well. The rap is good. I just, personality wise, I don't know about the guy. I haven't read any interviews. I don't know what he's about, but for me, my spider sense tingles a little bit when it comes to this type of stuff.
I did a little bit of research, and he does seem to be, pretty involved when it comes to like labor activism and, looking out for unions. I suspect that some of his money's going there. He's advocating for some really righteous causes. Everything that's going on with Amazon at the moment, stuff like that. He's definitely a for real leftist, and I think that's dope because you don't really see rappers doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put some money towards his album. I'm gonna champion him. I'm definitely gonna put people onto the track Grimy and definitely put them on to Weird Flex. Weird Flex is a fun song. It's fucking hilarious. It's smart and poignant. Grimy is a fucking anthem to me. Like I said, man, there's very few people who are openly leftist, and the ones that are making that music don't really make it accessible or fun.
Yeah,
like I love Soul, from Anticon. He's he's a ANCOM, like anarcho-communist, and his music is not very interesting to a lot of people. I think it's fine, but this cat Grimy is. You think you're going into something and then you get something else. It's really dope. I fuck with Connor, and I'm hoping that he surprises me.
And that's why I'm once again, thank you guys for listening to this album, because I've been on this guy for a while and I like what he's doing, and I'm gonna say greatest album ever, 8. Because
is that the highest rating that he's given any album on our things yet? No, the Swindle album was like a perfect 10.
Like a 9 or 10. Yeah.
I mean, the instrumentation works for me. You straddle the line of not being rapid sometimes, but it works because you do the pop and, man, I don't know, the R&B so damn well to the point it's forgiving. I will say, man, I would like more bars from you, but your previous album, third time around, I think you gave me some super bars.
Third attempt?
Yeah, third attempt was super hard, and you had some bars on that one. And I think these tracks was well thought out. I like the switches. Keep doing your thing, my guy. You got a fan over here.
Yeah, I'm a fan now.
Yeah, same, man. I mean, like, he's the homie that I just met that I like that's a leftist, but I got to see if he...
Don't believe him? Need more people?
You know what I mean? Like, I meet a lot of cats. I mean, very few leftists. I met a leftist yesterday at this little art joint, and he was ill. He's doing labor work in California, union work in California and shit. And it's like, yeah, man. But, like...
I don't believe you yet. I'm not a leftist, but when I heard this, I'm like, this goes hard.
Like, a lot. I mean, like, yeah. We still black over here and shit, and it's like,
Big facts.
What I mean? When it comes to art that is like, I know black art is the popular culture zeitgeist now and pushes things
Big
and
word.
changes everything, but like whenever somebody's using it, I'm always a little bit like, hey, well, what's going on here? Who are you? Are you of the culture or not?
And that's right. You should be a little apprehensive,
wary of who you're,
who comes in, because everybody likes to step into the culture and not really give back to the culture. Once again, right. The old saying, everybody want to be till it's time to be a.
Well, I mean, like, even black folks do it. When I listen to like Donald Glover, I'm just like, ugh.
Thanks for saying that.
I like Donald when he was doing comedy with Derek. Who are you looking at? The women's?
No, that was in the hashtags.
Okay. No, but I was like, hey, we could talk about something else. But I like Donald when he was doing his acting is good. I like him when he's doing comedy with Derek Comedy. Those, that white skit group on YouTube back in the old 240p days, 480 or whatever. But his music is just like,
it comes.
It's like you are making music like everybody expects, and it sounds, and you do it different, and so you get this. He
doesn't do it different. He copies.
No, so well.
But
the thing is, he's copying, but there's no real genuine shit going on. He's doing safer. He's doing rap that you can play for your white suburban soccer mom and be fine a lot of times.
I agree with that,
and that's gross to me. Sometimes.
And the critique
especially
I have
the
about,
fans that come with that.
The critique I have with Donald Glover is, I don't know who he really is. his music fluctuates to whoever he's copying at the time.
Well, right.
And that's kind of a cultural thing. I'm like, I don't know where you fit in all this. Do you make good music? Yes. And I don't get that with Connor. I feel like Connor is being authentic, just to bring it full circle and put a bow on it. But with Donald Glover, I'm like, yeah, your music's good, but
what is authenticity in this day and age when all of your upbringing is this convergence culture of online personalities and memes and even anime is not there. There are no subcultures anymore.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like hard to say what's authentic or not. And when it comes to people who have an audience, like a big Instagram audience or something, I'm just a little bit sus about it.
it makes sense.
I'm just a little bit sus about it.
I believe him more than.
I mean, yeah. You're not gonna catch me bad mouthing anybody that's a fucking lefty, unless they earn that disrespect. And I'm rocking with him, man. It's good music. He's super talented. Surprise me.
Hey,
what you
score
got,
one for
Jet?
L
Huh?
Spade.
Solidarity.
Hey, Secret House
Fuck
against the
the
world.
right, but mostly solidarity.
Like, subscribe, notification, leave a comment, share it with your friends. Tell us what you think. We here for y'all. Dude on the left, I got you. Shout out to Arm & Hammer. Stop commenting on that one about me.
Yo, all right, leave him alone. Leave Spade alone.
How many
Turn the
times
comments
I
off
say
on that
it?
video.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I love it. I love it.